Not all dating advice online is healthy. Let's sort truth from trauma. Welcome to day 33. I'm Dr. Nicole, and today we are reacting to some viral TikTok dating advice that's been circulating. As a psychologist who works with women in relationships, I see how online dating advice affects real people's real relationships. And while some of it is helpful, a lot of it is actually harmful, rooted in fear, trauma, and misunderstanding of healthy relationship dynamics. So, I want to bring some psychological perspective to what's being shared online so you can discern what's actually helpful versus what might be keeping you stuck in unhealthy patterns. The first problem with viral dating advice is that it lacks nuance. Complex relationship dynamics get reduced to catchy sound bites that don't account for individual differences, context, or emotional maturity. For example, I've seen advice like never text first, or always make him wait 3 days, or if he wanted to, he would. While there might be kernels of truth in some of these, they ignore the complexity of human psychology and individual circumstances. For example, never text first. This ignores the fact that healthy relationships involve mutual initiation and that some men appreciate when women show interest. It doesn't mean all the time, but to say never is a bit extreme. Always make him wait, treats dating like a game rather than an opportunity for genuine connection. If he wanted to, he would, doesn't account for different communication styles, attachment patterns, or the fact that people express interest in different ways. So, what happens is a lot of times you get hyped up by your girlfriends who say he didn't do anything and he didn't want to because if he wanted to, he would. Meanwhile, some of the details of what he did do or the explanation or context may be missing. The problem with rigid rules is that they prevent you from actually getting to know the individual person in front of you. You start following formulas instead of using your intuition and your emotional intelligence. A lot of viral dating advice is rooted in fear rather than love. Fear of being taken advantage of, fear of appearing desperate, fear of being rejected, or fear of not being chosen. This creates dating strategies that are defensive rather than connective. I've seen advice like never show too much interest, always have backup options, don't be too available, make him prove himself constantly. While protecting yourself is important, when your entire strategy is based on fear, you attract fearful people and create fearful relationships. Fear based dating advice often comes from people who have been hurt themselves and are trying to prevent others from experiencing the same pain. So it may be coming from a good intention, but healing from past hurts doesn't come from building bigger walls. It comes from developing better discernment and emotional intelligence. Also, these kind of rigid rules lack the nuance of developing the art of feminine energy, feminine attraction, and feminine communication. The goal isn't to protect yourself from all possible pain. The goal is to become emotionally mature enough to handle whatever comes up while still remaining open to love, trusting yourself that you can make good decisions or that you can recover from decisions that may not have been the best. Another issue I see is confusion about masculine and feminine energy in dating advice. Some advice tells women to be completely passive, never initiate anything, never plan anything, never express interest first. Other advice tells women to be completely aggressive, go after what you want, don't wait for anyone, be the pursuer. Both extremes miss the mark. Healthy feminine energy is not passive, it's receptive. There's a difference. Passive means doing nothing. Receptive means being open, responsive, and allowing space for masculine energy to show up. You can express interest without chasing. You can show appreciation without being desperate. You can be warm and inviting without being available to everyone. The key is understanding the difference between initiating and pursuing, between showing interest and chasing, between being receptive and being passive. Healthy relationships require both masculine and feminine energy, and both partners should be capable of accessing both when appropriate. So, what actually works for creating healthy, lasting relationships? Emotional maturity. This is key. The ability to communicate your needs, handle conflict gracefully, and take responsibility for your own emotional state. Then there's self awareness, understanding your patterns, your triggers, and your attachment style so you can make conscious choices rather than reactive ones and fear based ones. Authenticity, being genuinely yourself rather than performing a version of yourself that you think will be more attractive or that you've seen online, is key. Then there's discernment, the ability to assess someone's character, consistency, and compatibility rather than just their charm or attractiveness. Boundaries, knowing what you will and won't accept, and communicating those limits with kindness but firmness. This is the part that gets tricky because how you communicate your boundaries makes a big difference. Emotional availability, the willingness to be vulnerable, to share your authentic self, and to create genuine intimacy. Also, patience, understanding that healthy relationships develop over time and can't be rushed or forced. These qualities aren't as catchy as never text first, but they're actually what create lasting love. The women I know who are in healthy, devoted relationships didn't get there by following viral dating rules. They got there by doing their own inner work, developing emotional intelligence, and learning to trust their intuition. And here's another issue: viral dating advice often makes sweeping generalizations about men and women that simply aren't true. All men are dogs, all men are visual, all women are emotional and illogical. Men only want one thing, women are all gold diggers. These generalizations are harmful because they prevent you from seeing people as individuals. Yes, there are general differences between masculine and feminine. That's what this channel is about. Yes, men and women often have different communication styles and emotional needs, but every person is unique. Every relationship is unique. What works for one couple might not work for another. The goal isn't to follow universal rules, it's to develop the emotional intelligence to navigate each relationship based on the specific people involved. So, how do you sort through all the dating advice online? Ask yourself, is this advice rooted in fear or love? Does this advice encourage connection or protection? Does this advice treat people as individuals or stereotypes? Does this advice promote emotional maturity or game playing? Does this advice align with my values and what I want in a relationship? Trust your intuition. If advice feels manipulative, defensive, or inauthentic to you, it probably is. The best dating advice helps you become a better version of yourself, not a mere strategic version of yourself. Discernment is feminine wisdom at its best. Your ability to sense what's true, what's healthy, and what aligns with your values is more powerful than any dating strategy. Don't let viral advice override your intuition. Don't let fear based rules prevent you from genuine connection. The right person will appreciate your authenticity, not your adherence to dating rules. Make sure you hit subscribe for day 34, where I'm sharing what I wish I knew in my 20s. Lessons that could have saved me years of confusion. Tell me in the comments, what's the worst dating advice you've seen online? Don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of the videos. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Dr. Nicole.